we're going to kick off our third session of the day, which will focus on how to make check-in and attendance a breeze. Then right after this session, we'll go into our last training of the day, which is how to make billing and payments faster and easier. So there's still lots of great trainings up ahead. But in this session, we're going to go over everything that you need to know to optimize your check-in and attendance process. Including how to make drop-off and pickup more efficient, how to maintain accurate attendance records, how to ensure compliance much more easily, and also we just can't wait to dive in. So I know that we have a mix of folks on the line, so whether you're joining us and you've been with Brightwheel for years or just curious about how we can help you have an amazing school year, we're glad that you're here and we can't wait to get started. But before we get started, let's do a quick introduction to Brightwheel. We're the #1 rated app for early educators. As you can see from the screen, Brightwheel is an all-in-one solution to help you manage your center or preschool more effectively. With Brightwheel, you'll be able to communicate with families and share photos and videos to give them a window into their child's day. You'll be able to check children in and out. So again, that means no more tracking families down for missing signatures. And Joanna's going to talk all about that today, as well as manage your admissions and even collect tuition online, which are both huge time savers for admins and their family. We're super excited to also share that in our lessons and learning features, we now have something called Experience Curriculum. Experience Curriculum is an easy to implement curriculum system that comes with a digital lesson plan available in the app and also hands-on learning materials mailed to your program. That's right. We mail these amazing monthly kits with everything a teacher needs to bring the curriculum to life in the classroom, including hands-on materials such as books, music, posters, craft supplies, games, math manipulatives, each tailored for specific ages. Our curriculum is designed around 35 research-based skills to improve learning outcomes. It offers flexible lesson plans for babies, for toddlers, and for preschool age groups. And it's also aligned with NAEYC Common Core, Head Start, and all 50 states' early learning standards. And you can also easily share children's developmental progress with families. Our goal, as always, is to make life a little easier inside and outside of the classroom. Some quick housekeeping notes for you before we get started. We're going to give you a certificate of attendance at the end of your session today. So make sure you watch all the way until the end and stick around. And then we'll also make sure that you can download that certificate, put in your own name, and then also save it for your records. We're also recording today's session, and so we are going to be sending those recordings by tomorrow, so check your email for that. But that also means that if you miss any part of our sessions today, if you needed to review anything, or if you need to just jump off early, you don't need to worry. Those recordings will be sent to you automatically, and so just stay tuned in your email for that. And we also are going to have some time for Q&A. So you'll notice in your Zoom controls, if you're just joining us fresh to this session, that there's a Q&A button that looks like two little chat bubbles. Please use those Q&A buttons to type in your questions. That's going to make it a lot easier for our team who is on the back end to make sure that they can see your question and respond in real time. So hopefully we'll get your questions answered ASAP. So let's go over our agenda. I'm going to pass it over to Joanna in just a minute. She's going to walk you through everything, Brightwheel check-in and attendance tools. And then we're going to have some time to have a Q&A at the end and conclude with a quick wrap-up where I'll share your certificate of attendance and some helpful next steps. With that, let's get started with Brightwheel Bootcamp, how to make check-in and attendance a breeze. So let's start by talking about some of providers' most significant challenges when it comes to drop-off and pickup. From our work with thousands of directors, we have learned that it can take a lot of time to manage drop-off and pickup at your program, especially if you're taking, doing different check-ins. For example, if you're still taking temperatures or other kind of health checkups. So we want to make sure that we are giving you the most flexibility throughout your day, through all these processes that you may have with your families in the mornings and at pickup. The great thing about using Brightwheel is that we have tools that not only makes this process faster and more efficient for you and for your teachers, but also improves your family's experience day to day. So Joanna, are you ready to walk us through some of those Brightwheel check-in tools?
Hey, I literally cannot wait. Let's get going with this. What do you say?
Let's do it. Awesome.
First of all, before I get, oh, sorry about this. I get so excited, I can't help it. I just love sharing Brightwheel with people. It's the absolute joy of my life. Again, like I said a minute ago, say hello to me. I see people coming in from all over the place. Love the energy in this group. And again, I'm here. I'm going to show you how Brightwheel can be a total game changer for your program. One more, Joanna. If you see something today and you think it's pretty cool, because I'm going to show you some pretty cool tips and tricks, would you just do me a favor and write pretty cool in the chat window? Let's have some fun here. All right, I'm ready to get going. Heidi, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Give me just a second. You all, I hope I'm sharing the correct screen with you. I really do. Here it goes. Let's hope for the best. Oh, wrong screen. Am I there yet? Hello. Am I there yet? Do you see me?
Yes, you're looking
Yay.
great.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Okay. What I want to share with you to start with is the importance of getting your parents on board. So many of you say, Joanna, I'm going to wait just a little longer. And I always say, oh, no. Do it now. You want the parents on board as soon as possible. And there's a couple reasons for this. Let's start by clicking My School. Here I am on my page, right? I'm going to go to My School. And I'm going to go down to the Parents tab because, like I said, getting these parents invited is super important from the very beginning. I can look at my list of parents here. Yeah, I have a pretty small classroom. I've gotten rid of some of the students just to clean this up for you. But what I want to show you is you can see that I've entered parent information for most of my students. And as a result, Brightwheel has already given them a check-in code. But look down here for Mr. Timmy Moore. I haven't added any parents, and there is no code waiting. That's another reason you really want to get these parents entered, whether they're invited or not necessarily, but you at least want to get them entered. Then they're going to show up with that check-in code, and you're going to need that for check-in and check-out. And let me show you now, once you know how to get the parents, getting ready to sign up, let's go into our settings, which is right here, this bright blue, we call it Blurple here at Brightwheel, navigation bar. And I'm going to go down to the word settings. Figure out what you want check-in and check-out to look for. So many of you tell me, Joanna, it's so chaotic, help. And I'm just right there to help you with this. Many of my administrators say this is a game changer. So watch this. The first thing we start out with is we have something called Quick Scan. Quick Scan is pretty cool, by the way, because say you don't have the money for an extra tablet for the check-in or check-out like many of you have already been using. We give you the option to just turn on Quick Scan right here with a toggle, on or off. I have it on because I love using Quick Scan. You simply open and print this beautiful QR code, print, not for each parent. Just create yourself a beautiful welcoming area for your check-in. Parents can walk in, see this, put a nice welcome to your day, and have the code there. And that's all you need to do. That's just a piece of paper. Some people laminate it. Some people put it in a plastic sleeve. A couple more things here. We do have Quick Scan Refresh. I don't recommend that you turn that on because it gives you a new QR code every 3 hours. And that kind of makes that paper code a little bit ineffective. You'd have to be replacing it. So don't bother turning that on unless you need to. Digital signatures. Wow, let's further create what we want that check-in process to look for. Many of you want parents or are required by your licensing to get a signature when parents check in. Yeah, raise your hand. I can't see you, but raise your hand anyway. That's right. Turn that on. Only takes parents a second. I mean, a second. And they just write their name right there on their phone. And then later, when you print out that attendance report, share with licensing, you can see their little signature. Pretty cool, right? You got it. So what about those kids that come in and you want to say, I want to take your temperature. Johnny looks a little peaked today. Rebecca, oh my goodness. Are you sure you feel okay? Well, watch this. I love our health screen check-in. And what I love about it is parents do it. Let them think about it before they drop the kids off in the door. One of my absolute favorite features here in check-in. I simply can do this before kids come in. So if I said at home, parents would have to fill that out before they even got to the check-in process. So you'd know ahead of time. Or how I usually leave it is parents as they check in the door. You might think it takes forever, but you know what? It goes so fast. Boom, 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 boom. You get this cool little alert. If you have that toggled on later in settings, I'll show you that. Parents even see if they can say, watch this. You always customize. This was originally set up during COVID. But let's face it, I'm worried about more things now because, well, I just can. I have mine set up to say no fever in the last 24 hours, no cough or shortness of breath, no contact with COVID in the last 14 days. I added no rashes, and I've had a few that add no vomiting or other things in the last 24 hours as well. All sorts of great things. And you can even put no unexplained rashes. But you can save that and customize it any way you want. And notice that it's as simple as this for the parent. They get something that looks just like this for little Mr. Johnny Walker here. It says no fever, no cough. They couldn't say no. So you and the parent get this little notification. And then you guys need to have that little chat about whether little Mr. Johnny Walker should stay there today, or perhaps it's a day he might not want to come in. Super, one of my absolute favorites. So once you've got this pretty much set up, and I haven't gone over everything here with you, I will at some other point or maybe at another session. But what I really wanted you to see was how to open, print that QR code, how to enable quick scan. If you do this, it lets you use a code, a quick QR code. Sorry about that. Things go really fast. All right, now check this out. We are going to see what it looks like from a parent's view and from an administrator view. Can you all see my iPad? Just drop a yes in there if you can see it. I've got my iPad right here on the screen ready to go. So you walk in as the administrator, and you know that time of morning you've had 1 or 2 cups of coffee, but you're still not ready. Check this out. I absolutely love how easy this is. You walk in and you say, I want to use this tablet like a check-in station. Joanna, I want this to be a mobile kiosk, we call it. And watch this. I take my tablet in my own, my view. This is my administrator view. I move over to top my mobile app. Use this mobile app, folks. It is so wonderful. I move on down to where it says check-in kiosk. Do you see that? I'm not sure you can see it. Check-in kiosk right here. Now, this is the time you want to know your code numbers, but mine is going to be, boom, that. Look at that. I now have a mobile kiosk. I even have a QR code. So as the parents come in, they just scan that code if they're in a hurry, or they type in the 4-digit code that we generated when we added their information. So this is pretty cool. By the way, I think I'm going to check myself in while I'm here. Oh, I think I did that wrong. I better go back. Let's see. I'll clear it. A little out of room here. Let's see if I can go back there. I'll exit kiosk. See how easy that is? I just exit it if I need to. Just go in or go out. I can use my iPad for something else. I'm going to put it back in Kiosk, and I'm going to pretend that a parent is coming in. Mr. Burt Muppet happens to walk in, and he has several children at my school, and you might think that's a challenge at check-in time, but with Brightwheel it won't be. Watch this. Burt comes in. Now, if he has his phone, he can simply log into the app on his end, scan that QR code that you see right there, or if it's on your wall, they can use that too. Bert knows his code. He probably went into his own profile and changed it to be his birth date or his anniversary or something like that. You can do that once you get your code from Brightwheel, by the way. So Bert comes in. He's got the little Muppet kids all behind him, and he says, "Hey, I'm ready. Out of my way here." And he says, he just enters his code, usually. Uh-oh. Of course, I have a little issue here. Let me go back in there. What is going on here? I know what it is. Too many keyboards, folks. I think that's what it is. I apologize for technical difficulties. Let's see. Let me try setting it up again. This should not happen to you. I'm going to just flip my tools around a little bit here. It's because I'm trying to do so many things at once. Let me flip my iPad around. Let me go back into kiosk mode. Boom. Put my code in. Now I have more room on the screen. I have my kiosk. Bert walks in. He says, "Okay, Joanna, are you finally ready?" "Yes." And he says, and he sees his children. Voila, that's how easy it should have worked if you weren't trying to project on a screen. Look at all these kids Bert has at my school. Oh my goodness, can you imagine if he had to stop and write his name every single time? That would be so time consuming. We make it really easy. The first two kids really don't even go to this school anymore, so I'm not going to worry about those. Maybe they're in another school. But for right now, I'm going to go down to Ernie, Glorious, Missy, and Sunny. And they're all going to be going into, whoops, sorry about it, I lost something there. Come on, Bert, back in. I'm going to check in, check in, check in, and check in. Low internet. There we go. Now, here's that quick little health screen. Comes right on his phone, right? I just say, nope, Ernie hasn't had a fever, no cough, no this, no that. Glorious, no fever, no this, no this, no this. No, all my kids are pretty healthy today. If I couldn't say no to one of these, that's when we would get an alert, and so would the administrator. I'm ready to go. I submit the health screens, and look, make the licensing people so happy. He has to sign his name. So he writes Bert. He writes Bert Muppet, and he confirms it, and he gets this big green screen that says checked in. Hopefully, if the internet's working fast enough for me. Give that a second. I hope this is still working here with this internet. There it goes. And he gets his success, right? And the kiosk is ready for the next parent. Now, if you have a few standing in line, one could just scan the code down at the bottom and then finish it up on their phone, or they could use the tablet. That's going to be totally up to you. Now, when the administrator, you want to use your iPad again, or you want to hand it to a teacher, just go ahead and up at the very top, you click Exit Kiosk Mode. Put your own code back in to unlock the device. There you go. And you're back and ready to use for your next group. Did you all see how fast that was? I mean, really pretty cool, except for my minor internet problems. One quick little suggestion I have for you with this is some people will put that QR code on the back of, like, let's say a clipboard, I've had some that have lines of cars that drop kids off. They put it on a sign, and a teacher just sort of stands there with the QR code, and parents can scan it as they stop. You can be creative as you want with this. But anyway, it goes really fast. Back to you, Haiti.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Let me take a minute here to share my screen. And let's move on to perhaps the most common challenge we hear from providers, and that it's challenging to track attendance using pen and paper because many times parents will forget to check in and out. However, we know that you need to have those accurate attendance reports for so many things, right? So you want to maintain classroom ratios, you want to make sure that you have the reporting purposes for licensing requirements that you have, and of course for security purposes. Luckily, Brightwheel can help you keep accurate attendance records so that you can ensure compliance more efficiently, and you can also even simplify your billing. So if you use attendance-based billing for your program, that's one way to do that, right? So in fact, 2 out of 3 administrators report that they spend less time on busy work because of Brightwheel. And I also want to share a quick story with you all. Like you can see from Jennifer's quote here, she used to use pen and paper and sign-in sheets. And ever since she switched to Brightwheel, she can now show licensing the Brightwheel check-in report, and that's all been taken care of for her. I love that she says that this has given her more peace of mind as a director. We can always use more as directors, that peace of mind. And we hope that that's something that our tools can give you as well. Joanna, are you ready to come back on and share with us how it all works?
You know I am. I saw someone, by the way, in the chat that said my screen doesn't look like yours. You know what? I'm using an Apple device, and if you're using an Android device, it'll look a little bit different, and we'll work with you on that. So don't worry too much about that. There'll be a little blue button down at the very bottom. All right, I hope that helped some of you. I forgot to mention that. Let me go ahead and try sharing this screen again. And I'm back into my mobile app, I hope. I have a few more mobile goodies for you all. If you're excited about this, let me know. I want to show you how to track ratios. Keep those numbers clean for that licensing, and also don't overwhelm the teachers that are in the rooms, right? I want to show you how to track them and even move kids from one room to another room to be sure that the numbers stay correct for you during the day. I'll show you how to view your school in attendance mode right from your mobile device. You can even correct attendance right then and there in real time. You don't have to wait till later unless you want to. And then I'm going to share 2 new features for you, so just hang on for that. Let's take a look at room ratio tracking mode. I'm on my admin, again, my admin account. You can see that it says Joanna the Administrator, and that's up at the top. And I'm going to start out right here. I want to show you a setting that's very helpful. Some of you want to know and be notified when your rooms are out of ratio. You can set that up. I'm going to go into my profile. I'm going to click my picture, which takes me into my own profile. I'm going to scroll down. Notice that I can get push notifications for staff and parent messages, parent and administrator only messages, staff messages, activity reminders, ratios. And I don't know if you can see that whole screen right now or not. Not quite sure. On my screen, it's way over to the right. There are a series of toggle buttons, and I can toggle those on or off. I toggle them on, all of them are on, because I want to be able to see what's happening throughout the day. I want to be notified. I'm going to close that, and I can move that window back over. Let's see if that helps any. I'm going to go into room settings for the next some settings I want to set with you here. Go over to the 3 bars, go to rooms. There it is. I can see all my different rooms, but something even more important is I want to go all the way down to the bottom to school profile. Now again, and I apologize because my whole screen isn't showing. If somebody's got a way on my end to help me fix that, oops, I would appreciate it. Notice down at the bottom where it says check in settings. There is, by the way, there are some little settings here that you can also fix right here from the tablet. All right, let's go now to attendance mode. And I'm going to go to rooms. And I'm going to go to, I see that I'm in my new school demo room here. And I look down at the bottom. And remember, I'm on a tad different if you're on an Android. It would have like a little blue circle and a little arrow, I think it is. And you click that and it'll show you these things. But I'm going to go into what's called attendance mode, which is down at the bottom. I see I have 4 little notifications. Well, what I want to do is go into attendance mode. I see that 4 kids are checked in. Does anyone remember who checked those kids in earlier? Was it me? Did I have to worry about this? Nope, they're all checked in and ready to go. I might want to go in and check in a staff member while I'm here, by the way. See how I can do that? There you go. If I had to jump into a kiosk mode, maybe I had a parent that showed up at the very last minute and they want to use their own code, that's fine. Like maybe it's Timmy Morning there. Or I can simply tap Timmy, check Timmy in, boom, right like that. Later, if you need to move the student to a new room, watch how easy this is. I go into Gloria's name and look at the options on the bottom, check out or move room. And what I love here also is that this doesn't alert the parents if I just move her to a different room because maybe my ratio is out of kilter here. Look at that. I move her to a different room. Or I could check her out there. But once she's checked in, that orange attendance tracker screen there, which tells me I'm in attendance mode, it will turn back to blue so that I can check out or move the room. I just wanted to point that out. Now, let's say that my dear sweet Sunny has the wrong time. I can go back to my desktop view if I want, but I could also, I'm gonna do Ernie this time. Whoops, he's already in. I'm gonna close. I'm gonna just tap on Ernie's profile there, his picture. I'm gonna see where it says, notice his check-in right here. Yeah, and it says he's in the new demo room, preschoolers by Bert Muppet. That's who checked him in. And he has no fever, none of that. But you know, Bert was actually 5 minutes later or came in again or something. I want to edit that time. All I have to do is click right there where it says his check-in time. And I can then do several different things. I can change the time he checked in, even the date. Maybe I want to go back and post-date something, or I can change the time. The other thing that I kind of like here is I can also edit a drop-in form. And Bert could have filled this out also. That's one of his choices. And I could find out when little Mr. Ernie woke up, last ate, had a potty, or when the parent might even be picking him up. And then I can confirm it. At this point, I can even see a little bit more. Look at that. I could go back and change any of those records. Any of them, if I wanted to. So look at that. I love that. So I don't have to wait forever to do that. So what if you want to do this on your computer instead? Maybe you don't want to do it in the moment. Well, go on back over to your desktop. You go to Students. And I can see on my desktop version, this is on the web, right? Maybe I'm in my office having a cup of coffee. Hopefully, you guys never have time for a cup of coffee. Joanna, don't kid me about that. But if you do take a break and you are on your computer, or it could be even your tablet and you have it in desktop view, whatever you need to do, look at this. I can see that Ernie, these kids are all here. I can move them right here to wherever I want to move them. I could check them out, or if I want to edit it a little bit, I could go into Ernie's profile. I could go way up to the top left and I could click feed. And I'll see Ernie's activity feed for the day. Look at that. And again, if I want to edit it, here's my chance. I can edit it right here. And I can even add a note. Some people have asked me, well, how do you mark an absence? Let's say the child was absent. This would say absent, and I could say, Ernie felt ill and had to go home. And I could click save. I could go back over to my students. And if Bert came to get him, Bert could check him out, or I could at that point, and now he could be marked as out. Or I could mark him as absent. It's whatever I want to do. Okay? So I hope that helped. Now, let's move on a little bit more. If you've seen anything that's pretty cool, let me know in the chat box, and I'll be sure to keep sharing those with other administrators. Now we've got all this attendance information, right? How do you report on it? You know, some of you have to report your attendance information, whether you're sharing it with someone or you're just using it for your own records. On the desktop, that's where you're going to do your reporting. Go on down to reports. First thing first, you can get lots of reports that are all pre-ready for you to go. If you need a check-in report, a ratio report, full-time equivalent, daily attendance, or even a room check, they're super easy. You simply just click it, students you're looking for, find a date, and click apply. Let's say I want to go through for today. I'm going to do today. I'm going to do maybe the other day through today. I'm just going to click apply. And if I've been keeping attendance, look at that. Look at that attendance report, folks. There is that signature I told you about. You are totally, and look who passed their health record or who didn't. And look at this. Can you imagine? Then if you want to export it or print it, you can do whatever you want with it. I love the reports. Let's say you want something a little bit more customized, real specific for your program. We have a new custom reporting feature. And frankly, I'm still getting used to it myself, but I'm finding that I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to switch over to a different view here just for a second. I want you to notice that customized reports, I might even have saved reports or not. I can go into my data source. I can look for attendance. That's my data source. And so you can pull from anything. Billing, aging, that's brand new. Billing revenue, profiles, get a list of all their emergency contacts, get a list of all their allergies. This is super fun. But I'm going to stick with attendance right now. And I'm going to look for a field. And the field I'm going to get, I really need to know the student's name. Let's find that. Student name. There it is. And some numbers. Look at all the different numbers I can choose from. What's the attendance count? How many hours did they attend? How many check-ins, checkouts? This is just amazing. And for this, I think I'll go with attendance count, just for fun. If it doesn't work, I go back, I try something else. How about a date range? I definitely need a date range. You know what? I am curious, not just for this month, but I'm curious for last year. And look at those little Brightwheel bubbles. They start bouncing. Means it's thinking. And hopefully in a moment, a report will show up with some customized data that I can customize even more by sorting it, ascending or descending. There it is. Look at that. So in the last year, little Miss Shania Cloud has been there 67 times. Okay, that's what we did on our demo account. Yours would be much higher, I am sure. But check this out. You can sort it. I can change it. I can have the student's name show up first. I can have the student's number show up first. I can do it ascending. Gosh, this is so cool. I can export it. I can download it. I can send it to somebody if I need to, like a reporting agency that I need to share it. Maybe it's with a board of directors. I can email it, download it. There's so much I can do. I love our reporting features. Some of these attendance reports, let me just point out, are really, really helpful for you when you're doing attendance-based billing later on. And you have to keep very accurate attendance records, which I'm sure you all keep anyway, but it really helps to have some of these reports handy when you want to go back and bill parents for some of the days that they dropped in. You can filter that right down to how many hours they attended, how many minutes. So cool. Hey, who wants to hear about another new feature that just happens to be here? Love this. I am going to go down and show you one more fun little thing here. I'm going to go into my school. I hear that pop, a pop. That must mean somebody wants to see this. Look at menu. Menu. Has anybody tried the menu tool yet? Oh, this is fun. I get in there and I start playing with it. I cannot stop. Heidi, let me know if I'm going overtime. I get so excited here. I am going to look for a menu that I've already created, actually. I'm going to look for a room, and I'm using so much with my demo room today. That is, I probably missed it. A new demo room. Boom. Oh, look at that menu that pops right up for me that I already created. But I bet you want to know how I did it, right? And by the way, if I want to share this with staff, I can exclude weekends, which I think I can exclude weekends. I don't need to know what's happening on Saturday and Sunday, but I can focus on just these days. Love it. I can't, oh, by the way, if I export a report, look at it. It'll even let you know what USDA categories have been met, and it shows it. And look at, you can send it all these different ways. You can do a PDF or a CSV, which is like an Excel or a numbers spreadsheet that you can work on. You can also download it to keep on your own computer. Here's how you quickly set it up. New menu. This is a brand new one. I'm going to call it I'll go with AM snacks. No. I feel like breakfast. I'm going to switch it. I feel like breakfast this morning. Start date is going to be beginning of this week, and it'll come every morning at, let's see, I want it to come at 8 o'clock a.m. I'm not sure. I'm going to serve breakfast here. Let me fix this little. I need my readers on for this, folks. All right. Boom, there it goes. And I am going to, I don't need to add anything in here. I want to go, we're going to have breakfast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at my center. You know what? I don't want to go in and mess with this every single month. So I'm going to let it go until, how about next June? I don't want to worry about this. We're going to have the same thing every day. So I just set up till date. I'll go over a little further. There it is. I add my food now. This is really fun. Check this out. Add a food item. Whoops. Let's search for some food first. I've entered some, but let's say you have, oh, I don't know what to put down. How about biscuits and gravy? I'm just hungry. I must be. Biscuits and gravy. I just click purple and now that's added, right? And I click add food item. And it's shown up. Now I can pick. I'll go with meat and alternatives because the gravy's got a little meat in it. I can pick my quantity, half cup maybe, I don't know, or serving unit of measure. And I assign it to my classrooms. I'm going to go ahead. I could pick all of them if I wanted to. I'm going to go ahead and just pick this classroom for the week. And at this point, I can edit it. I can add another room to it. I can do whatever I want. And I simply, whoops, I've lost my screen. There it goes, create my menu, and voila. Here comes my new menu. Look at that. I have a new menu for this class. I am telling you, everything I find with Brightwheel, every day I learn something new myself, and I love sharing it with you. I want you to know that you can assign these food items to the menu and organize them based on the CACFP. I have to read that one because of all the letters. Food categories and serving sizes. Is this too good to be true? Right. Back to you, Haiti.
Awesome. Indeed, too good to be true. So let's continue to move right along here and talk about another challenge that we hear often from our providers, and that is that it's actually pertaining to staff and not families. But we know many directors and admins find it hard to check staff check-in and check-out for record keeping and payroll, especially if teachers forget to sign in and out, which can happen quite frequently. If this is something you have difficulty with as well, Brightwheel can make it so much easier for you and your teachers to record their attendance, and it's automatically maintaining an accurate record of your staff's working hours so that you can easily calculate payroll and other important details. Joanna, can you show us how this all works?
As always, I cannot wait. Let's go for it. Okay, one more time here. Boy, you'd think I could do this share screen a little better by now. All righty. What I want you to know, first of all, is talking staff, they're going to have a 4-digit code, just like your parents. If I go over to my school and I find my staff.
Interrupt you for a minute. If we can see you on camera, that would be amazing.
Oh, yes. I forgot. I'm so
awesome.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, I appreciate your help. I see that chat lighting up. I'm surprised. Joanna, where are you? I'm right here. I've got my staff added here. And again, just like with the parents, they all have a check-in code also. And if they forget, you can always tell it to them. No problem. Okay, I wanted you to know that. But you have to have added your staff in order for them to show up there. Basically, I'm going to go back to my mobile device. And as usual, I'm probably going to have a little issue with it. But I'm not going to sweat the small stuff, folks. I'm going to go right over here. Hey, tell me, can you see my whole screen or not? Can you see my whole iPad screen, or am I missing part of it?
Oh, yes, I think you're missing part of it. And I'm wondering if do you see that little, there's like a little person with
try flipping.
Crown.
Let me see if that works. It's about move a person with a crown. Let's see if I can
there's
do
a person
that.
like
I really want.
Yeah, we're still missing
going on it. I don't want that to. Now we're missing even more of it. All right, hold on here. I know this happens, right? And the best thing to do is not worry about it. I think now I can see the whole screen. I want to get rid of that. Whoops. Oh, I'm sorry, folks.
That's okay. Right below it, you have like right under that. Would that work, perhaps?
Woo! Is that what I wanted? I don't think that was either. Oh, I'm so sorry, folks.
No, it's okay. Let's undo it. Yeah, right. I think that's the best. Thank you.
All right, that's better. Okay, here we go. Thanks, everyone. I want you to consider this. Some of you feel very, very strongly about your staff, where they check in and when they check in. I've had some administrators that have said, hey, I don't want my staff just to be able to check in like from their car early or late or anything like that. So they're very specific. I have a toggle, and I'm going to share that with you. If you want them to only be able to check in from an administrator device, here's the steps. You go over to the 3 little bars at the top. You go down to school profile, and you move on down again to check-in settings. Do you see check-in settings? Boom. Now again, I'm going to have these toggles, and they're kind of hidden now because of this little bar. But where it says, the very bottom, it says staff check in from any device. If you want them to be able to check in, as they're walking in your building, right, with their phone, fast, quick, most people do that. go ahead, keep it on. I'm keeping mine on for today. But if you feel really strongly you only want them to use an administration device when they come in the building, maybe it's an iPad at the front desk, then you would want to toggle that off. I just wanted to share that because it is here only on the mobile app. So I'll go back, all the way back. But however, let me show you. I've left that toggle on. My staff can check in from any device. I've got a quick demo process here. I'm going to show you how it works for Joanna, the lead teacher. I'm going to switch accounts. Did you all know you can switch accounts now right here? If I just go to switch accounts and I've already logged into one of my other accounts, sometimes you have staff that's also parents, right? Or you, this is how I do it. Anyway, I'm going to go into my teacher account here. It'll just switch for me. And I'm going to go into attendance mode. And there's, check myself in. Joanna, the lead teacher. I'm checked in, close, I think, I hope. I can also go to check in, check out. And if I have my QR code handy, which I do, sorry, this looks terrible. There it goes. I can now check in to my center. And I go back and I'm checked in. So that was the easiest way to do that. If I'm using a kiosk mode, I'll go back and I'll show you how that looks. I would set that up as a kiosk as my administrator again. And Joanna, the lead teacher, could have walked in, and I'll do this with my 4-digit code this time, and I'll be checking out. And notice how it says I'm already checked in because I checked myself in that morning. I can check out this way from a mobile device, which goes really, really fast. And again, Joanna's going to check out so that the tablet can be used again later on. And checking out, as I said, is exactly the same. What if your staff member says, hey, I've got the wrong time in there. I forgot to check out last night. Something that we strongly recommend here is go back up to your school settings on your, you can do it right here on your computer. Go down to your settings. And if you go all the way down to the bottom right, it'll say auto checkout staff. Let's help these poor staff members out. They forget to check out. Let's check them out automatically. And you just toggle it on or off. And it helps them the next or more if you want to edit time. One thing you can do this right from the mobile app. You just click their name, you click time cards, and you go in there. It's beautiful. But if you're on your computer already, look what you can do to help someone with this. You go down to my school, staff has been moved right down here. Love this. Up at the very top, I can see staff, time tracking, and even payroll. Check this out, time tracking. Let's say that Joanna's a lead teacher. Notice it says I checked in at 2:50 and I checked out. That's really not true. I've been working hard all morning. I'm going to go into actions and I'm going to edit that for her. I'm going to go in. Yeah, that's where she was, but she didn't really check in at 2:50. She checked in this morning. I was here 8 o'clock. I saw her definitely at 8 a.m. I'm going to save it and update her card for her. That way, when I want to see her time card later, I can get see, here's her time summary. Pretty cool that you can see all of that. You can export, you can print. Staff can also see their time cards if they have their own device. Very cool. Don't forget, you can even run payroll reports. If I go down to reporting, you'll see we have staff reports, we have time summaries, and we have time cards to get that going really fast for you. And that data then can be exported to use with your third-party system.